We are joined with Alabama Crimson Tide, who advanced to the national championship semifinals. We got freshman Paityn Walker, head coach Ashley Johnston, a lot of breath, junior Gabby Gladieux, and senior Lilly. Hudson. Coach, we'll start with the opening statement, then we'll go into questions.
First of all, just so proud of this group for qualifying to Elite Eight. This has been a huge goal in front of us, and week after week we have talked about never losing the hope or belief or confidence that this team can do it. No matter what anybody on the outside was telling us, they continue to work relentlessly to figure out any and all ways to get better and find our edge. And I have to say, it was our culture and just what they've created together and the connection within each person and their connection to the mission that I really believe was what drove us to come out on the side that we wanted to be on. It was in the floor corral, and I think it was Lilly that pulled everybody together, and they just kind of locked in and said, take a deep breath. And she'll have to put in her words what she actually said, but for me as a coach, watching that from a distance and seeing that this team has the maturity, the skill set, the trust in each other to really come together in the hardest, most challenging moment and find a way to thrive. That is what Bama Gymnastics is all about, and I'm so incredibly proud to see that play out in what was such a tough moment and to see them come out with such a huge win.
All right, questions? Right here. Sorry, multitasking, guys.
Just to get the season best performance, what does it say about this team? And you guys, I think, need almost every single, season best point there to advance. What does it say about this team that they can come through this big moment? This is for anyone.
I mean, I barely have words right now. I'm just so proud of us. But this group has fought all year long through so many challenges, so many adversity, and no one ever gave up for a second. I would walk in every Monday, and you just see in the freshmen's eyes, sophomores, juniors, seniors, like in their eyes, how bad they wanted it. They never even let up at all. And for me as a senior, I would just see that, and I'm like, why not? Why not keep fighting? And so I think, to answer your question, we're our best under the highest of stakes and under the highest of pressures. We've learned through that. We've gone through that all year long. So we've been equipped with everything that we need to succeed in those moments.
Okay.
For Ashley, just how proud were you of the response on floor after mistaking the first spot? And then, I mean, all of you competed after that. Just kind of, what's the pressure like when you know there's less room for error after mistaking the first spot?
You know, we've talked about that moment all year long. And I think that's what I love about this group is kind of the brutal honesty that they can absorb and handle, and the awareness of we're going to be prepared for any and all situations. And for me, that brings me back to my own journey. And we actually were able to pull off a national championship win in a similar moment where we had a fall in the middle of our lineup and we're able to just continue to be fierce and one-up each other to create the outcome we wanted. And so I think for me as an athlete, that was such a huge learning experience, and it's something I'm really passionate about teaching, is being able to handle the hard, and not just handle it, but get excited and eager to be the person that's up for that job. And when I look at that floor lineup, like nobody second guessed anything. Rachel's a rock star. She had one little mistake tonight, but as I looked around, nobody doubted for a second that we can still get this done. I mean, and these three right here were a huge part of that, and just a testament to their training, their resilience, their fight, and again, just the relentless pursuit for excellence.
Paityn, this is your first season on the team, and you're about to go compete on the biggest stage in collegiate gymnastics. These people have all been in that position before, so what are your feelings and emotions this time?
I'm so excited. With so much experience on the team, I'm just like looking towards the upperclassmen, but also I really want to take it in as a freshman, and really, it's a new experience, and I want to feel that. I want to go into it not expecting anything and really giving it our all, because I mean, we got it.
Paityn, what's that moment like when you get that 9-9 on floor? In that moment, talked about that's a huge spot, but in that moment, it's your show, it's on your shoulders. What's your mindset going into that, and what's the feeling like after the fact?
Going up, knowing it was basically 5 up 5 count. It was a little nerve wracking, but we have trained for situations like that, and I kind of trusted my training. I knew I had it. I did a lot of mental routines in the corral. I visioned myself doing those passes, and I really did my normal, which really helped me, and I didn't over control anything, and I mean, paid off.
Lilly, when you finished that floor routine and everyone's standing there cheering for you, just what was that like knowing it was your final routine here in Coleman?
No words. I mean, I just think it capped off an incredible 4 years that I'll remember for the rest of my life. I'll tell everyone about my family, my kids, everything. I don't know. I'm just so thankful to have worn the script A for 4 years, and I think the minute I just saluted, I looked up, and there's nothing like Coleman Coliseum. Look up and you see everybody on their feet, crimson and white, and just no words. I mean, it's the best feeling ever. You can't describe it.
For Gabby, what was it like for you going into that floor routine, knowing that it was kind of an opportunity to clinch nationals, just in that setting?
Yeah, the one word that comes to mind is trust. I had to trust my training, trust my process, and trust my team, ultimately. Looking over there before I went and seeing all of them huddled together gave me all the strength and all the reassurance that I could hit this routine.
I have one because I know y'all are gonna all want to talk about this. When y'all were headed to floor, the whole Coliseum started standing up and cheering for y'all, almost helping y'all get to the top two. So talk to me through that moment from y'all's point of view.
Well, we were hype after beam. I mean, we were just, I think after hitting beam like that, beam is such a event where you have to go aggressive, and the thought of going aggressive and taking risks on a 4-inch balance beam in front of 15,000 people in the highest of pressures, that's hard to do, and we did it. We did just that. We did exactly what we trained to do. So we were hyped going into floor, and then you see the whole crowd. They're on their feet. They've got our backs, and that's also kind of why I pulled us together on floor, because when you want it so bad, sometimes things you just get so up here, my adrenaline too. So I just felt like we needed to connect and take a breath, reset, 0-0 mentality.
It's just something that we've talked about a lot this week. We do a takeaway Tuesday, sometimes on Tuesdays and sometimes on different days, but just trying to bring in, a message to just kind of resonate with, like let it hit home, absorb as we go into the meet week. And one of the things this past week was about competition and feeling fully alive in those moments. And I think for me, that was the feeling, the overwhelming sensation from beam to floor. I wasn't actually the one out there competing, but I felt like I was. And I think the arena felt like they were. Like everybody was like fully alive and present and in the moment. And when you feel like you don't just have 18 people on your team, but you have hundreds and thousands of people on your team, like that's enough to push it over the edge. It really is. That energy, that connection to the mission, like you feel it on such a deep level, and it sparks and ignites the belief and the confidence. And so just have to shout out our fans. They've been amazing all season long, and I've said it week after week that they really are the difference maker, and that hasn't always gone our way in wins, but look at what this team has done. It has fueled them with belief to today come out with being top 2 at a super tough regional championship with an opportunity to be here in the Elite 8 amongst the premier teams with a chance for a national championship. And our fan base is a huge part of that, so thank you.
Okay, 2 more.
At the end, when we were waiting on California's last score on the beam, you guys were kind of waiting, looking at the board with Florida, and then you guys got the tickets, and you guys were all jumping together, both teams. What's that kind of say about the SEC mentality and just the friendship and bond with college gymnastics itself as well?
I mean, I think arguably the SEC is the best conference in the country and one of the most toughest. But we come together and it makes everybody perform at their best. So when we're faced with the highest level of competition, we rise to the challenge.
And I think we want our conference to represent on the biggest stage. And so when we go into a meet like this, it's great for us and how we set up our future when we see our conference be the top of the nation. And so I think we're pulling for them and they're pulling for us. And we had a great moment at the end, just seeing Florida and Bama come together, and that's what it's about. It's about representing our schools, our programs, our conferences in the best way that we possibly can.
Okay, last one.
It just means more.
There you
go.
Wow.
Coach, you've had this feeling as a gymnast and now as a coach. Just kind of, what is the difference? Maybe is this better than when you were a gymnast, just because of all the work you've seen them put in, or kind of take us through that?
Gosh, it's really hard to compare that. I would say coaching it is more fulfilling for me, because I think when you're teaching something, I learn more and more as I try to teach. And honestly, I learn the most from them. It's the conversations, it's the individual coffee dates, touch points, just moments along the way that really help me grow my mindset and my philosophy. And so I would say it's extremely fulfilling, because I'm a relentless learner, and I get to be around so many amazing, talented, insightful humans all the time. And so I feel like we have a culture of iron sharpens iron, and that's athletes and coaches, and we all learn from each other. We've all grown together, and for me, that's like the deepest joy and fulfillment that I could ever dream of. And again, just really incredibly thankful for this group who never quit. And I just think, you look in the news and you see articles and things of coaches and athletes struggling to figure out how to be the best in the way that makes sense now. And I'm just so proud of what our group has created, that we have the trust built to really challenge each other to be great in a really healthy way. And I'm just excited about what Bama Gymnastics is about, how we're building together, and the legacy that these three and so many others out there have built, and forever and ever. I mean, this class of Lilly and her other seniors and super seniors have been a huge part of building the foundation for where we're at now, and many generations before that too. But I think it's moments like this that really hit me in looking at how far we've come and the legacy that they've built, and it's taken all hands on deck in creating that. It's really special.
I just want to say credit to the best fearless leader in the nation, in the country. She never gave up on us, and will forever be one of the most important people in my life. And yeah, just credit to the best coach in the world. So,
Mic drop. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.